Great, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm April Olson. I'm the Group Program Manager for the Finance and Service Industries module in Finance and Operations. Our organization focuses on those two areas, is located in our Fargo office. And today I have my co-presenter with me, Shivam. Shivam's on my team. He's a Senior Program Manager, and he will be doing half the presentation as well today. Shivam's focus is around accounts receivable, payable, credit and collections, and some of the finance insights and AI work. So before we get too far into some of the investment themes today, kind of a quick show of hands so I understand who's in a room. How many of you are currently implementing finance and operations? Okay, and how many partners in the room? Okay, how many prospects? Okay, great. So then that kind of helps us kind of tailor kind of how we explain some of the things today and what's coming in our presentation. So we should have some time for questions at the end, so I'll ask you to hold them so that way you can go to the microphone since we are recording. That way anyone that rewatches the recording can also hear the questions. So today we're going to cover some of the new functionality that's coming in finance and service industries work in our October release or shortly after. So the one thing I want to call out is if you haven't already had the link to our release notes, and we do have this later in our presentation, you can always see what we're working on because we're constantly updating those release notes. So when you go to the release notes, there is a summary, and you'll see either in the October release or it might say undetermined. And if it says undetermined, it means it's coming in a monthly update. So as we demo some things today, if we call out that this will be released shortly after October, that's what we're referring to. So for October and shortly after, what are some of our investment themes? And if you went to Mohammed's session yesterday, you have seen the same slide that we're really focused on putting our functionality that we're adding in three major buckets: intelligent insights, connected processes, which would be connecting all of Dynamics 365, and then just always focusing on core capabilities. And then we're always focused on fundamentals: usability, performance enhancements, quality. So that's always the top priority, but anything else you'll see today, we've kind of bucketed into those three areas. So when we as a team think about what we're investing in and what our goals are for those investments and how we go determining those, we always like to kind of say, how do we enable your business to either automate and simplify the common business processes that you have? How do we work with all the data? How do we monitor performance in real time? As you expand and grow and go global, how are we helping you do that for your organization, adapt to change? And as you can see, productivity on the edge and predicting future outcomes. So that's kind of how our team thinks about bucketing, enabling a business when we're doing these core capabilities. So I'm going to cover the first two sections today. I'm going to talk briefly about some of the functionality that already exists that do help some of those business processes. And there's a lot of what I would call small features that really help reduce user error, simplify user entry, and just make things a lot easier and quicker for the user. So I'll briefly talk about a few of these, and then we'll go into demonstration. So dimension defaulting. One of the things that is one of our top suggestions on our ideas site, so if any of you have been to any presentation before, you'll always hear us talk about our ideas site. So as a team, how we go ahead and prioritize our functionality that we're adding is using many data points. We work with customers at conferences like this, on-site visits. We point you guys to what's called our ideas site, where you can add future suggestions for functionality you might want or vote on them. You know, sometimes there's just initiatives that we do or, you know, innovations that we might do. So every single feature that you're seeing today, we've worked with customers with hand in hand. We've gotten feedback from customers on priorities, designs, and so on. And so the first one is around dimension defaulting, which is one of our top 10 ideas on our ideas site. And this one is something very simple. When you have a dimension that is an entity, such as customer, vendor, project, when you are doing or creating that new customer, it's going to default to that value as the dimension, so that the defaulting is naturally occurring throughout the system whenever you use that entity. So something that simple just doing that defaulting saves multiple clicks. It's reducing the user error and just, again, making the long-term entry experience more automated. We've also added more control into the system. So when you make changes to customer and vendors, there are certain fields that some companies want to make sure that there's an approval process. So we have certain fields on the customer and vendor that you can set up where it requires approval to make changes, such as credit limits, or maybe the group that that customer or vendor is assigned to. So we've added some workflow functionality around that. Simple everyday tasks like creating a free text invoice. We've always had some automation around that to be able to reuse things, but now we've just added something as simple as templates and copying lines so that an end user who might be doing these free text invoices can quickly copy lines or use a template for fast entry. So again, things that are simplifying and helping the user do their job better. One of the things that's coming post-October release is ledger settlements. And this is kind of a two-phase approach that you'll see in our release notes, but we first are going to make some UI improvements so that the users that are doing these settlements can do more filtering to help them better identify what they're marking as settled and so on. And then there'll be a second phase to that where it's going to be more automated, where you can actually set up rules to automatically do your settlements in the ledger. So you can kind of see the theme here around simplifying, automating, making things easier. Kind of just going on, I'll just cover a few of the other ones here that you want to read about. Reversing journal transactions. We've always been able to do that. We're now going to make it front and center, easier to find, do multiple at a single time. Simulate posting. Today, for a very quick validation in your journals, you can validate. It's a very high-level, high-performance task. But when you have multiple sets of approvals with the workflow, there are certain things that get tapped onto that transaction at the very end of posting that don't get caught. So you might go through 3 approvals and then have it rejected. Well, that's really frustrating. So we've actually added a true simulation where you can see the whole posting process is solid, done, it'll pass before you do that approval. So again, feedback we've gotten from customers or that we've observed that we're just adding to the product. And then a few others here, some validation on IBAN numbers. We've got a lot of integrations going on right now with PSA, so that would be under that connected processes. We're going to be adding some discounts when editing base and due dates, and then some functionality that's already been released in the project area around the work breakdown structure and resource management. So let's jump into the product. I'll cover a few of these. The ones with the check marks today are the ones that I'll be demonstrating. There we go. Okay. So the first one I'm going to walk through is the dimension defaulting. So let's go to accounts receivable, all customers. I'm just going to create a new customer. Okay, and I'll go ahead and call it Contoso Fargo. Now I already have a financial dimension set up for customers. That was a precursor to this, which I'll just show you at the very end. I'm going to go ahead and put that in group 10. Let me just do this. So I've created a new customer, and again, I've already got a financial dimension. So in the past, when you've created these customers, which we know are happening very frequently, you had to scroll down to this other financial dimensions tab and fill in that dimension value. So again, it was an extra scroll, a couple extra clicks, people would forget to do it, and then downstream, there's not defaulting happening. So we've done something as simple as just default that customer value in when it is created and it's a financial dimension. So I'll show you how the defaulting occurs, which is the other part of this functionality that we've added. But first, let me just show you what I had to enable to get that to happen. In the general ledger, under financial dimensions, you can actually pick whether you want this to occur or not. So if you go to financial dimensions, I'll click on customer. There is a new toggle that I had on. right here, I'll put it in edit mode. This toggle right here, copy values to this dimension when each new customer is created. By simply clicking yes, that's how that defaulting occurred. And so when I go to the journal now, I'll show you how now it will default in that particular dimension value. So this is the phase 1 of our dimension defaulting functionality that's coming. We're also going to be adding a second phase in the next probably 3 to 6 months where you can actually pick a set of values that default from each other. So for example, I maybe pick a specific cost center and I want 2 or 3 other dimensions to just automatically default when I pick that cost center. That functionality is also going to be coming in an upcoming release and is currently in design and customer review right now. So let's look at how this applies. If I go to a general journal, just for simplicity, I'm just going to choose a type of account. I'll pick that customer that I just created. Okay, so let me choose an account type of customer. I think I called it 446. Okay. So now I've added this customer account. When I go to financial dimensions, because that setup is happening automatically, my defaulting is happening automatically. So again, reducing the number of steps and errors that could potentially happen with our users. Now as I go ahead and I finish this entry, whatever I decide to enter here, let's also just show you that simulate posting. So under the validate menu, again, this used to be a brief, high-performant, quick check to make sure that most of everything was okay. But during posting, there's a lot of things that happen. You can have fixed dimensions get applied at the very end based on how you have your system configured. There could be some intercompany, whatever might happen. And those things weren't always getting checked in this validate because it's meant to be quick check. So we've now added this simulate posting. So if you were to run this now, it's going to simulate the entire process, as I mentioned earlier, give you back that validation that everything is good to go, or you might have to correct a couple things. In this case, it completed, it was successful. So if I did have multiple workflow approvals now, I would just go ahead and submit this, and I'd have confidence that when it gets to that third level of approval, nothing is going to go wrong. It will post correctly. So it's under the validate functionality. We did leave both there because you still might want that quick validation, and because when you are doing a simulation, it might take a little bit longer. So you'll have both options under validate now going forward. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at the workflow. So I'm just going to stay in the accounts receivables area today, but this workflow has been added for both customer and vendor. So let's go back to accounts receivable. I'm going to go to the accounts receivable parameters. All right, different. There we go, down here. And in the parameters, there is a fast tab called customer approval or vendor approval if you are in the vendor. And again, we have that toggle that says if you're an organization that wants a bit more control, you can enable this customer approval. And I've already got a workflow set up, so I'm not going to go through the workflow setup. That's pretty standard as it is today. But I have enabled this to happen. And then here's the common list of fields that we got feedback from customers on that we thought they had given us feedback that these are the things that they would want to go through that approval process. Name change, credit limit, tax group, method of payment, and so on. So I've just picked a few of those that I want to be able to have an approval process around. So just by setting this up, this simple setup in the receivables parameters, I'll go ahead and show you that experience. So I'll just use the same customer that I just had created. Okay. Now this customer does not have a credit limit set up right now. So if I scroll down to the credit and collections area, put it in edit, you'll notice that the credit limit right now is set to nothing. I'm going to go ahead and give them a 10,000 credit limit. Now as soon as I tab off this, you'll notice I'm going to get a message. And the message says, changes to this field require approval. It has been entered as an approval request. Okay, so it's telling me, although you can change it, it does require that process to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that and close, and you'll notice that the credit limit is still saying 0. So now what has to happen is before this credit limit takes place or any of the changes that I've marked, it needs to be approved. So until that approval happens, the existing settings will take place. So it will not actually have a $10,000 credit limit until that approval happens. All right, looks like we have a bit of there we go, a little slow here. So now I can go ahead, go under workflow, hit submit, and however I have that workflow approval set up, that person will get the request to mark it as approved for that credit limit. The minute that happens, this change would be reflected and that credit limit would come into play. So again, that's something that we've added around both customer and vendor. All right, the last thing I'm going to show in this area is the free text invoice changes. So again, to reiterate, we already had some automation around this, but I'm going to actually create a template, create a new one from the template, and show you the copy. So all three things that we've done in this area to make the entry a lot more simplified. So let's go ahead and create just a new free text invoice. Okay, got my account. I can go ahead and add my lines, oops, whatever it might be. Looks like the wireless is just a little bit slow in here. We're thinking about it. There we go. All right, I'm just going to add a service revenue and a quick product sale. Just 2 lines, very basic, not putting a whole lot of thought into this. But the idea is to show you if I have multiple lines, how I can go ahead and save that as a template. So let's just do our lookup here. And let's go ahead and do a product sale. All right, so if this is something, maybe I have a service install and some hardware that goes with it. I know I'm going to be using this frequently. I may want to save this as a template. So now you'll have this option up here for Save as Template. And you can go ahead and just type in a name, or if you don't already have one created. So I'll just call this Install and Hardware. That's my name. I'm not going to give it a description right now. Sorry, it's a bit slow here. Jumping around a bit. And now I've got this template created. So where does this come into play? If I wanted to create another free text invoice, maybe it's a different day, maybe it's later on. When I do the new from template now, you can see that that option will be available. And those lines will automatically default onto that free text invoice. So when you do the new from template, you go ahead and you pick your customer. I'll pick a different customer this time, Contoso San Diego. And you'll notice there are 2 checkboxes. So the checkboxes are saying, although this is a template, do you want to default from the free text invoice using the default values, or do you want to pull some of the defaults from the customer that you just selected? So you still have that choice even though you're using a template. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose that from the customer account. So now here is my new free text invoice with Contoso Retail. Here are the lines down below. So that's just a simple change that we've made to help quickly have users be able to do repeating processes on a more manual basis at a faster pace. And likewise, if these lines are something that I want to replicate, now we've also added the copy selected lines. So I can select those lines. I can say, hey, maybe I want to copy those 4 times. Just by clicking the number 4, I can choose to copy distributions. It's going to duplicate those lines for me. Okay? So again, things that we've observed or gotten feedback on that we've made to really make that process easier. All right, I'm going to go ahead and exit out of the free text invoice, and let's go back to the PowerPoint. So that was just a few of the many changes coming in the fall release around that particular theme. Let's move on to another theme now, which is monitoring our performance. Something that, Microsoft data, if you got to be able to get the information out to make good decisions on it. And so there's a couple things we've tagged into this theme. Again, these could be in any of our themes, and that's the addition of dual currency, some enhancements to financial reporting around that area, and some new expense analytics. So if any of you have seen demos of the product or been in any of these sessions before, analytics is near and dear to everybody's heart. So we're constantly enhancing them, and we just released, or we will be quickly releasing here in October, some new analytics around the expense management process. So I'll do a quick walkthrough of those today. Again, it's using our embedded analytics or Power BI. And then I'll cover dual currency, which has been one of the top feature requests as well that we've had coming. So dual currency, we did a phase 1 on this. We added it for general ledger, fixed assets, AR, AP, cash, and bank. So we still don't have it for inventory and costing. I would say that's probably our next top areas that we're going to be adding or looking at. I don't have a time frame on it yet. And then expense, project, and budget. So we've kind of put it out there. Again, this is one where we worked very closely with 2 customers to really add this functionality and walk through the process. Likewise, because of that, you can now report on the reporting currency from F&O in financial reporting, as well as still have the rich translation capabilities that financial reporting has. So I'll just show you that today in a quick demo, and then again, I'll cover the expense analytics. So I'm going to demo all 3 of these in our next session. So I'm going to switch to a different demo company quickly that has a bit more data in it around expenses. And let's go to our expense management workspace. So the expense management workspace, it still has any outstanding reports. I am logged in as an administrator right now, so I can see whoever I'm responsible for. So I'm in as an admin role. So I may see expense reports, unattached expenses, and then you'll notice there are 2 new tabs. The admin expense analytics and then my personal expense analytics. Let's focus today on the admin one. Okay, so you'll notice across the bottom we've got 3 major reporting areas. We've got an overview, then I have some statistics for the employees, and then I have an employee comparison. So I really have all 3 views or pivots of data that I might want to do some analysis on for, what are the expenses being submitted in my organization. So you can see some outstanding amounts that I still have for the expense reports across my org, submitted unapproved, and some of the common measures you might want to look at. Over here on the right, I have expenses versus budget over the last few months, any draft lines that I may want to dig into more detail on, and then another overview section over here where I can see what are my top merchants, cost types, and employees. So if I want to look and try to do that analysis, I can do that right from this particular page. Now, because this is Power BI or embedded analytics, when I do things like select draft, you'll notice all the data is changing. So as I make these filters or apply these filters, the entire report is going to be updated based on those selections that I make. So now I'm seeing just what everything is in that draft status, and maybe I want to dig into Alaska Air. So again, now I'm looking at, as soon as I click on that, the data is reflecting what's in draft status as well as what's specific to Alaska Air. So you're going to see everything reflect and interact as you make those choices. Okay. So this is where you can see each of the sections, drill in, make your choices. Let's go ahead and jump to the employee tab. So this is just another view of my expenses in the organization by the different major cost types that we might want to do analysis on. So for example, maybe I want to see who's attended a conference. And I can see that there was 1 conference only. We're not really having a lot of expenses come around that for $300. And I can, again, do a different analysis based on the cost types in this particular area. Likewise, I may want to go to employee comparison. So let's see who's spending the most on hotels. So if I click on hotel, over here I'll see the different employees and what their hotel costs are. Doesn't necessarily mean they have better taste, it could just mean the locations that they're constantly traveling to cost more. But I can start to dig in and do that analysis by my employee. So maybe I want to dig more into Yoitura's expenses. I can actually right-click and do this drill through. It's going to drill me back to the employee statistics that I just was, specifically looking at that individual's expenses. And now I can do, again, deeper analysis for that employee. So this interaction and this drill through really allows you to get into the data using all the power that we have with Power BI. And then one last thing I wanted to cover out is actually the drill too. If I were to go back to this main overview page, and if I were scrolling through my data, and maybe I find some particular line that I want to dig into, I can go ahead and click on that expense report. It's actually going to drill me back to the expense report, so I can, from there, navigate and take action and see the additional detail on the actual expense report. So those are some of the things that we've added, we have in all our analytics that we've just enhanced and added for the expense management area. All right, last I'm going to talk about dual currency. So again, I'm going to go to another company here. I'm going to go to my German Contoso manufacturing company. And the reason I picked this company is because the setup for this company has euros as its accounting currency, and it has US dollars as its reporting currency. So let me just show you that in the ledger setup. Okay. So again, down in this currency area now, we've added a new field called reporting currency exchange rate type. Before, we only had the accounting currency exchange rate. And what it did was whenever you had an originating transaction currency, let's say Great British pounds, it would translate using the exchange rate to the accounting currency. And then using whatever exchange rate was there today, it would go from accounting to reporting. Okay? Well, we got so much feedback, they really wanted this reporting currency to be a true secondary accounting currency. So we repurposed this field to do that, to follow all the accounting standards. So now when you have that transaction currency, it's going to use the exchange rate type here to go to that true secondary accounting, but it's still called reporting currency. So that's why this exchange rate type came into play. It's very important to have set up. So after that, most of the changes we made are adding this field to all the subledger areas. Okay, it was mostly in GL before. You'll now see it in fixed assets, cash and bank, AR and AP. And then we've added a couple of wizards to kind of help you go back and change things such as bank balances and fixed assets. So let me just show you that on a fixed asset example, since that's usually where it comes into play probably most importantly. All right, now I walked through this demo a couple times. I think I already created an asset, but hopefully I did. I think I did. So I think I already have this asset created. If not, I'll create one. I'm going to do a journal on it. Let me show you the journal instead. Sometimes you walk through things so much you kind of lose track of what you already prepped the night before. So if not, we'll just create a new asset. So why am I going into the journal? And that's because you're going to see a couple new totals at the bottom when I enter it in another currency. And you'll also see a new field for the reporting currency amount. Okay. All right, so as this defaults in, oops, sorry about that. If I scroll over to the right, let me go ahead and just add an amount. You'll notice that there is a reporting, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong form. My bad. I must have clicked on something. Let's just delete this line. I went into the budget. I'm getting a little click happy up here. Let's go back to the journal. Oh, there we go. I clicked one down. Okay, I did have one created. I thought I did. Okay, take a step back. Now I'm going into a journal, not the budget. I've already got in the company car here and a debit amount of $40,000, whatever it is. But what I want to draw your attention to is now you actually have the ability to enter that acquisition amount in that secondary currency. So you'll see two new fields now in the debit and the credit for the reporting currency. Likewise, you'll notice now at the bottom in the totals, you'll see the debit and credit totals for both currencies available. So this will be on all the journal forms and for the areas that we've added it. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to call out. Now, for those of you, this is great for new assets. How do we go ahead and take care of any existing assets or bank balances maybe that we have already got in the system? Let me show you one of the windows that we've added, or the pages for that functionality. It is called Add Reporting Currency Amount to Fixed Asset Books. So now I don't have any existing assets in this particular demo company, but if I did, it would step you through picking your exchange rate type, and then would look at any assets that have a different accounting and reporting currency, and it would calculate how it would store that reporting currency, because that's a new field now in each of the subledgers. And it would show you how it's going to calculate it, and you could either change the exchange rate or you could change the amount so that you can get to that true historical acquisition amount. And this wizard would step you through that and go to Excel. I don't have any to show, so if I were to click next, it's going to just be empty. But we've added a couple of tools and pretty extensive documentation to help walk through transitioning to this, as well as some proactive messaging in the system. So as you take this new release, it'll say, hey, you might want to walk through this step just to make sure your historical assets are at the right rate. So again, anything new, it's going to store it. That's why this is empty, but it will actually walk you through that process. And again, this field is everywhere, so I'll just quickly jump to the trial balance in GL just to kind of show you that, again, on all the reports now, it's already, I didn't even need to show you balances, but the fields are now there and present to show that reporting currency. So you're always going to see that full amount and analysis everywhere you go. So that was another one of our top requests that we've been getting, especially for those that do have different currencies, that they really want that full subledger amount in. And so how do we report on that? And we've brought that capability over to financial reporting, of course, as well. So let me go ahead and jump to a report that I created. Again, this is a demo company. I only have 2 transactions in it. So I did a quick report that I'll show you, and then I'll jump to the design experience to show that you can report on the values from F&O as well as still take advantage of the translation capabilities that financial reporting has. So I'll go back to that report. Let's jump to the column definition. All right. Oops. All right, in the column definition, I've done 4 columns just for the purpose of demonstrating the functionality. On the currency display, whenever I have an amount column now, when you double click, you'll see the ability to pull the accounting currency from that ledger, so no translation would occur. You can see that I can choose this reporting currency from the ledger. Okay, for any of you coming from AX2012, this was a top financial reporting feature request. They wanted the ability to pull as well as still translate, so we've added that functionality. We've added the ability to choose transaction currency, and what this would mean is if you're just creating maybe an audit report, and in a single column you want all the transactions, mixed currencies, so clearly totals would be irrelevant. We can do that as well now, but we still have all the translate to capabilities. So this first column is going to show my accounting currency regardless of what currency I generate the report in. This one's going to pull the reporting currency as it's stored in the finance and ops tables. This one, because there's nothing defined, is still going to allow me to translate to Great British Pounds, to Singapore dollars, to whatever currency I might want. And then this one's going to just, as I drill down, maintain that transaction currency. So just to show that, I've generated this report already. You can see here's euros, here's US dollars, because that's how I had my company set up. I generated the report to euros, so let's go ahead and flip this to Great British Pounds. And what you'll now see is euros, US dollars. This column is the only column that translated, so I'm still getting the rich capabilities of as many reporting currencies as I want. And this column is just it's going to translate at the balance level, but if I drill down to transaction, I'm going to see a mix of all the originating transaction currencies. So again, allowing you to report on that as well, just giving you some additional analysis tools that you need for kind of weighing your currency translation options. Okay, so with that, I'm going to hand it over to Shivam now. He's going to cover the next section around managing the global business and take it from here.
Thank you, April. And in this section, we'll be talking about managing global business. So finance and operations has a global footprint. And let's start with a couple of trivia questions, especially for the partners who are out here. And I'm assuming that the prospects don't know about this, and people who are implementing currently probably don't know about this, but partners probably do. So the first question, how many countries does finance and operations support? Anybody can answer that question? Can you? 60? 60. Anybody else? So finance and operations supports 37 different countries. That is what finance and operations supports. How many languages does finance and operations supports? Any hunch on that? Take a guess, come on. 48, very close, very close. It's around 42 languages that we support across the globe. So finance and operations has global footprint, this global footprint, this global footprint, this global footprint. Last year, in European Union, a new rule was introduced called GDPR. How many of you know what GDPR is? Almost all of you. So GDPR stands for Global Data Protection Regulation. It is a regulation that went into effect in May of 2018. And it gives individuals who are from the European Union or reside in the European Economic Area certain right to their personal data stored in your system. And these rights are right to view, right to correct, right to port, to take the data out, right to delete, and right to restrict processing. Most of these are obvious. And what right to restrict processing means that, hey, I don't want my data to go to Google services from your system. And Microsoft has been working diligently as a processor of this data to help you get compliant with GDPR. In finance and operations, we have added a report called as the person search report. And what it does is basically just with few search variables, for example, either the ID of the customer, either their name, either the address. We can go through and search our entities or the database to extract the information for that person out through our data management framework. And so you can easily compile that information, review it, add more information as required, and send it out to the end user. The other functionality that we have added is global transactions list for customers and vendors. Specifically, if you think about shared services where single teams are handling customer and vendor invoicing and vendor invoicing, two different teams, but shared services. It was very hard in finance and operations to go view the transactions for a given customer who might be in different companies or different legal entities. We are trying to make it simpler by making the transaction list for customers and vendors global. And the other thing that we are doing is that we have added a new form to easily view settlement history. It was somewhat difficult in finance and operations to look at the settlement history and all the transactions that have resulted from the settlement. For example, cash discount and penny differences in one view. We are making it simpler by giving you one form where you can see what transactions have been settled, what additional transactions, for example, cash discount and penny differences have been created. And also, from that view, you can go into the detailed accounting, the transactions that have been posted to the ledger. And I'll be showing you that. And in the next few months, we are in the process of releasing the bank foreign currency revaluation. This was also a gap in finance and operations. And it is one of the most asked features on our IDEA portal. So I'm glad to announce that in the next few months, we will be releasing this functionality. Now, with that, let me go to the next slide. I'll be demoing you the three, the GDPR, person search report, the global transaction list, and settlement history. Great. So the person search report is in the system administration area. I have just copied it to my favorite. I'll go to the person search report and create a new search. And a guy called Andrew called me up, Andrew Sullivan, and said that he is my customer, and he wants all his data from the system extracted out and sent to him so that he can verify what information we have about him, what personal information we have about him. So I'm going to create a new search called Andrew, and I'm going to search it today. And what I can do is search on various criteria. For example, I can search on their ID, their name, and the address information. Now I know that the information that I have is the name, so I'm going to create a new search criteria by name and start typing Andrew. And basically what you'll see is that it returns to me all the people in the organization named as Andrew. I knew the last name of the person was Sullivan, and I can simply select that. And then once I have done that, execute a search. Now what this search basically does is that goes and looks for Andrew in all the party roles. Is Andrew a customer? Is Andrew an applicant? Is Andrew a prospect? Is Andrew a vendor? And return those values to me. So basically what I got at the end of this result was, hey, Andrew in fact was a customer, and this is his customer record. And also, Andrew is an applicant. So he had applied to work in my company at some point of time. Okay, that's great. And also what I see is that there's some address information about Andrew in the system. Great. Now what I can do is that I can export or create a report using the person search template that you can download from LCS. And basically what it does is that it takes these party roles and looks for all the related entities. So if you're a customer, your invoices, your orders, so on and so forth, extracts them through the data management framework and compiles them into a number of Excel files. Now, I'm not going to do that because it takes a few minutes to complete. But it is 80 plus entities that it goes, looks, extracts the information out, and dumps it for you. And it looks something like this. A list of entities all listed here where the data might reside, with the data extracted out. Now, for example, there was a FedEx invoice that I had created for Andrew, and you can see that the invoice information is right here. Now, just imagine, take another system which doesn't have this person search report. What you would have to do is that go to each of the forms, take the snapshot of the forms, print them out, compile that whole printout, and then mail it to the customer. This simplifies it by a huge deal. Again, you might have extensions, you might have customizations, and you might want to evaluate that this report covers all your fields. And if it does not, there's a way to extend it and add your own fields and entities to this report. So that's the GDPR person search report. The next demo that I'm going to show you is about the global transaction list. It's a little slow. Let's try that again. There you go. So if I go to my customer list and I select a customer, you would notice that under the transaction button group, there is an additional button now called Global Transactions. So we have left the original transaction functionality as it, but we have added a global transaction list view and given special rights so that you can only enable certain individuals in your organizations to see this. But as you enter this form, you'll notice that I'm seeing transactions across the legal entities. And basically what it also enables me to do is then focus down on certain transactions for these customers and vendors in a different legal entity if I wish to. So if I wanted to only see the transactions in the Contoso Orange Juice legal entity, I could filter to that. And that is all I'm seeing. Again, if I wanted to see transactions in all legal entities, I could again select all my companies, and I would be able to see that. So let's do that. So the next thing that I want to show you is basically the settlement history form. Now, suppose a customer calls you and asks you, hey, I had this invoice, I had made a payment, can you tell me if the payment was applied to an invoice? And he gives you an invoice number. What you can do is select the invoice number that the customer sent you and click on the View Settlement button. Now, this basically, what this form does is that it looks at any payments that have been applied to this invoice and brings it in this view. So you can directly say that, hey, yeah, okay, this was the payment applied to this invoice, and this invoice is no longer open. So the total amount of the payment was $585, out of which $322.02 applied to this invoice. Now, if you wanted to see that where else was this payment applied to, you can just simply click at the View Related button, and then it'll show you all the invoices this payment was applied to. And basically, we see there are the other one right here, which is at the value of $268.13. Also, what you can see is any related transactions that were created as part of the settlements. And here is the related transaction that was created, that is the cash discount. And if there were any penny differences that were created, you would see this in this view too. Now, if you wanted to look at what was posted in the ledger as part of posting of these transactions, you can select each of them and click on the View Accounting button. So I'm just going to select the first one and click on the View Accounting button. And basically, it brings you the voucher details and related voucher details for those transactions. Now, if I wanted to view the accounting for this whole settlement, I could select all those and click on View Accounting, and where I would see the detailed accounting for the invoices, the payments, and the cash discounts that has been posted. This was at least 3 to 4 clicks before for each of these transactions in finance and operations. Now you can get this by a couple of clicks. Great. Okay. Now this is a fabulous slide, in my opinion, right here. We in finance and operations have a pleasure of working with great ISV and partner communities. These ISVs and partners are diligent, and they go and create functionality that fills vertical and horizontal gaps in finance and operations. We constantly look at the products that our ISVs and partners have created and evaluate to see how customers are using it. And if we find that a lot of our customers are using a certain functionality and they are deploying it for every installation, we evaluate these products and make a decision whether we are going to acquire the license for these products and ship them out of box with finance and operations. And in our recent analysis, these are the 3 products that shined. One was revenue recognition management module from Armanino, Tyler Insight extensions for Tyler that brings a lot of public sector functionality, and enterprise credit management solution from Sable 37. And what we did was, it totally made sense. A lot of customers are using it. We decided that we're going to acquire the license for these products and bring it into finance and operation and ship it as part of finance and operations. So I'm pleased to announce that by spring of 2019, these modules will be available in finance and operations out of box with no additional cost to the end users. So I'm going to double click on each of these modules and talk about some of the high level functionality that they support. And then we're going to go deeper into enterprise credit management because we have been getting a lot of queries. There's a lot of excitement in the customer community about what functionality they're going to get with this one. So with the revenue recognition model, we get functionality like building revenue schedules, allocating transaction price across multiple products. You can also process and recognize revenue based on the schedule that you have set on an item. And also, there's a workbench that we are getting with this, where you can review a schedule and edit the revenue schedules. With the public sector enhancements, we are getting 100+ features with this enhancements. But some of the enhancements that I can talk about today is things like prior year advanced ledger entry corrections. You'll be getting that. Canceling any prior year encumbrance, you'll be getting that. And you'll be getting things like seal bid. And the functionality spans across the modules for this one. It is across general ledger, bank reconciliation, procurement, vendor collaboration, so on and so forth. And last acquisition that we have done is around the enterprise credit management that we talked about from Sable 37. We get a lot of enhanced credit management capabilities with this acquisition around advanced credit limit options, link customers, so you can group customers together and manage the credit limit on the group. We get credit limit approvals. It's beyond what April has just shown. Using a journal, you can automatically generate credit limits and send them through approvals. You can manage risk scores based on various criteria, and depending on risk scores, automatically generate those credit limits or set blocking rules. And at the end, you also get a block management workbench where you can manage all the blocked sales orders from a single place. So we'll double-click again on the enterprise credit management and go a little bit into detail because of the questions that we are getting around this acquisition. Like I said, that we get a lot of advanced functionality around the credit limit management. Some of the options that you get is credit limit check and blocking control becomes more granular when you think of business processes. You'll be able to do credit limit check and blocking at places like confirmation, picking list, packing slip, release to warehouse, project invoices, so on and so forth. You are also able to now manage insurance and guarantees on the customer account. These insurance and guarantees can either add to the credit limit or can stay by themselves. You get an option of temporary credit limit. Now think of a scenario where a customer calls you and tells you that, hey, I want to place a big order. You look at the credit limit and they don't meet that policy. So you want to increase the credit limit after evaluation that, hey, okay, they can probably pay that amount, so I want to do a temporary increase when this order comes in and it's processed. So what you can do is that for that time frame that you expect that order to come in and to process, you can create a temporary credit limit which will expire after that time frame. Also, the credit limits on customers now expire. You can set an expiry date. And once the credit limits have expired, the customer orders can go into hold. You can configure that to happen. And also, you can manage the credit limit in customer currency. That has been a very common ask. Every time I presented credit and collections anywhere, somebody used to raise their hand and say, can I manage it in my customer currency? Yes, you will be able to manage that in the customer currency. Now, I talked about linked customers briefly, but think of linked customer as a customer group, a new way to group customers together and then manage credit limit on that customer group. Now, these customers can be in multiple legal entities. So if you have a customer who is in multiple legal entities, you can obviously combine them together in the linked customers, but you can have other customers also in multiple legal entities and combine them together. They support temporary credit limits too, like on the customer level, and also workflow approvals for any changes that are made to the credit limits on the linked customer account is also supported. One major functionality that you get with the enterprise credit management is credit approval journals. So beyond what April has shown, where we have added functionality where you change certain fields on the customer, it goes through workflow. One of the fields is credit limit 2. But generally speaking, if you look at credit department, they do en masse changes. So this journal functionality enables you to create a credit approval journal with a number of customers where you have updated their credit limit. And then you can submit this journal through the workflow. And depending upon the criteria that you have specified in the workflow, it will go to the appropriate person. Approvals will take place. And once the approvals take place, this new credit limit will be applied to the customers. The other important thing that you get is to manage credit risk scores on various criteria. For example, some of the criteria that you will get out of box is average days to pay. That is calculated, year in business, and number of years since they have been your customers. You can also create custom criteria, for example, DNB scores and country, so on and so forth. And for each of these criteria that you define in your system, you can define a score. With taking all these criteria into account, when you go to the customer level, you get a risk score. Higher the risk, higher the score. And depending on these risk scores, now you can define automatic credit limits. So suppose you are yearly, every 6 months you are calculating recalculating the risk scores. You can also use that risk scores to now recalculate what the credit limit should be for these customers. And also what you can do is that depending on the risk scores, define blocking rules. So suppose you can recalculate the risk scores for the customers, and now they are at a higher risk, you can define a blocking rule to block those customers when that happens, their orders when that happens. And most importantly, we get the blocking and the release management of orders based on credit limit with this functionality. There are various ways to define rule. It can be based on days overdue, account status, terms of payment. So if higher the risk of the terms of payment, it puts the order in the blocking. The cash discounts that have been given, when has the credit limit expired, and overdue amounts. So like I said that, now you'll be able to rank your terms of payment. So there is a default terms of payment you can set on the customers. Now if the salesperson goes and changes the terms of payment on the order, if the terms of payment is more riskier, and you have defined it's more riskier, it's gonna block the order. They're not gonna be able to go ahead and process that order and move it forward. And it will have to go through the credit management. Same is the case with cash discount. There's cash discounts that you can set on the customer. Now, if somebody puts a higher cash discount on the order, it will put the order in the block, and they'll have to go through the credit management approvals to get it released and shipped. And with this also, what you will be getting is a workbench where you can manage all the holds and releases of the orders. On this workbench, you'll be getting rich statistics about the customers, and eventually we'll be embedding more predictive elements into it too. Great. So switch to presentation. Oops, I was in presentation now. Sorry about that. So next I want to talk about productivity on the edge. We want to empower end users to work when they want and on the device they want for specific scenarios that totally make sense. Now, some of these scenarios, there are a lot of these scenarios that we ship out of box. For example, expense management, vendor invoice approvals, vendor collaboration, and many more. These are not new apps as such that we are shipping as part of this release, but I want to talk about this because not a lot of customers know about these applications. Let me show you the expense management and the vendor approval apps. To the right screen. Great. So we'll dive into the invoice approvals first. The vendor invoice approval app has been created for the AP managers to review and approve vendor invoices that have been submitted through the workflow and have been routed to them. Now, as I log into this app, you can see that I can see a list of vendor invoices that have been assigned to me for approval. If you look at each of these invoices, you can see that there's a match status on them, and the match status can right away tell me whether the matching that I have set, two-way matching, three-way matching, totals matching, whatever I have set in my organization as a policy has been met. And for each of these invoices, I can see the matching status has been met and they are passed. And also the dues for each of these invoices. When I drill into a given invoice, I can see more details about that invoice. For example, if you look at the middle section, I'm seeing the lines associated with this invoice. With the current invoice, there are two lines associated. One is related to advertising, which is around $2,000, and another related to staples. When I drill into the vendor invoice lines, I can see more information about these lines. And also what I could do is then drill in further to look at the distributions associated with these lines, if that was in mind what I was interested in. If there were any attachment associated with these lines, you can also see them in this view. Once I have reviewed the invoice, then I can go ahead either approve or reject the invoice. And when I approve the invoice, I can type in my comment. and done. Now, these apps that I'm showing you, both the vendor invoice approvals and the expense management applications, they support the airplane mode. So these are created for environments where there is low data connectivity to no data connectivity. So once you're on an airplane, if you have all your invoices have synced on your system, you can go ahead and start approving, rejecting them. And once you turn your airplane mode off, they will sync back. And that is supported. The next app that I want to show you is the expense management app. Now, expense management app is created for both managers and the end users. Managers will see any expense reports that are available for them to approve, and the end users will only see the expense report creation and submission process. So I'm a manager in the system, and I'm seeing that one expense report is assigned to me. If I drill back into the expense report, I can see it's from Paul Cannon. Paul Cannon is one of the employees on my team, and he has submitted an expense report. I can see it's for a trip that he took for a conference, and there is an airline expense there and a hotel expense there. Let me click at the hotel. Very expensive hotel he took for a day. So I can start seeing details about the hotel. Now I want to look at the itemization to see where he spent his money. I can see the itemization details in this view too, and I can see that, hey, okay, the daily room rate was $200, and the room tax was $25. Now, if I click on another day, I can see what the itemization was as for that day too. Now, if there were any receipts attached to this expense, I will be able to see that in this view too. Okay, I think everything looks good, and from here I can approve the expense and go on. Now, the other thing this app enables you to do is create expense reports and capture receipts. If I now go to the create expense report, you'll see that I have already started creating my expense report for this Ignite trip that conference trip that I've taken. Let me drill into the expense reports. And as you can see that I've already entered my expense for the airline ticket for Delta Airlines. Now I want to expense my meals that I've been taking, and I can simply say add new expense, and I can select a category for this expense to meals. I can enter an amount because I gave you all a treat. So it'll be $2,000. Well, it didn't go through. Let's see. $2,000. And I have now recorded an expense on my expense report. Now, what I can also do is attach a receipt. So I have a receipt with me somewhere, and I want to capture that receipt in the system right away. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to capture a receipt. I'm going to take a photo of you guys. Suppose you guys are the receipt. And I'm going to capture it. And I'm going to use this photo, and then I'm going to save it. Once it's synced to the system, this expense line that I entered, the screenshots that I took is all entered into your expense report, and you don't have to wait to go back to your office to do this. So if I go back to receipts, you can see the receipt JPEG has been applied here. There you go. Yeah, so again, wherever you want to work and on the device you want to work, for specific scenarios, we want to support that. And this is what these two apps show. Too many buttons, sorry. Now, my favorite piece. This is my favorite piece. Right. So from 7.2 release, we started adding a bunch of analytics in finance and operations. We have since added around 9 reports in finance and operations, and one of the reports was shown by April around expense management. So these reports enable you to go figure the state of your business, the current state of your business, and help you then take actions to either improve it or become more profitable. But we want to do more. It's not only just analytics, we want to provide you the power of AI and help you predict future outcomes in the system. And the first step that we are taking is around the cash flow forecasting area. If you take cash flow forecasting and simplify it, it's basically 2 things, cash in and cash out. You want to maximize the cash in, and you want to minimize the cash out. And we have started to focus on the cash in. how can I enable you to collect money from your customers faster? That is the problem that we are trying to solve. And this is what Customer Payment Insights is. Customer Payment Insights uses machine learning and historical to look at your historical information for customers, for example, their invoices, their payments, their demographic information, to build a machine learning model from your data, and then use that machine learning model to predict future behavior of customers. So predict when an invoice for a customer will be paid. And it also provides, beyond that, certain optimization techniques for you to do what-if analysis, to see if I gave this customer an additional discount, would that have improved my chances of getting paid on time? To see if I send them a collection letter today, will that improve my chances of getting paid on time? So that you can use that as a future policy for those customers. Now let's go into the demo. Okay. So what I'm going to show you basically is a standalone application, which is also embedded within finance and operations on a workspace, which is currently in private preview. And what that means is that we are working with specific customers to test this functionality out and get their feedback. If you want to engage with us and work with us, we can enable it on your tenant. There's no install required. It's just enablement from our side. And we can work with you on this project too. Sync with me after this meeting. So quick refresh so that we can start the demo. And basically what it is doing right now, it's very good, is that it is looking at all the historical information in my system and creating a machine learning model that will be used to predict on open invoices when that customer is going to pay that invoice. And usually it's a quick process. But internet connectivity is slow here, so let's assume that's going to take a few more seconds there. So what you're seeing currently in the middle right here is a list of all open invoices across your customers. And on the left, you are seeing a prediction for these open invoices. We'll get back there in a second. On the top, you are seeing basically the total amount of open invoices. So the total open invoice that is open, amount that is open is $8,000 some dollars. And now you can see the predictions for these open invoices. We are predicting that around $1,800 will be paid on time, $3,600 will be paid within 30 days of the due date, and around $2,900 will be paid beyond the 30 days of the due date. So we are predicting that a major amount, portion of your open balances will be paid late, and that's not good. Now let's come back to these individual invoices. Now when you look at the right section, you'll see predictions. You're seeing that for the invoice that is selected, we are predicting that there's a 98% chance this invoice will be paid on time, and there's a slight chance, will be paid within the 30 days of the due date, and a slight chance it will be paid on time. When I go to the next invoice, you will see that for this invoice, you're predicting there's a 98% chance it will be paid on time, and hence this invoice has been tagged with the prediction that it will be paid on time. If I go to the next invoice, you are again seeing that it has been predicted there's a 91% chance that it will be paid beyond 30 days of due date, and a slight percent of chance it will be paid in other buckets. But now you get the trend. So we have bucketized this predictions, and we are taking the largest percentage where it is predicted to pay and associating it with this invoice. Now, what you can do with this information is that now you can filter it down and to the invoices that are predicted to be paid very late. Again, these invoices are not late yet. They're not even due yet. But we are predicting that these invoices will be paid late. Export this out and send it to your collections agent to start making those courtesy calls. Have you received your invoices yet? If not, I'm going to send you a copy. So you are starting your collections proactively. Just imagine the power of that. You're not waiting for those invoices to get due. We are telling you this invoice will be late. You can start your collections proactively and start collecting those invoices soon. In the future, we'll be integrating this with the collections module, so you won't have to export it out and send the collections agent. It will be able to see this information in their view. Now, like I said, that we want to go beyond this. We want to give you the ability to do a what-if analysis, to improve your policies, so that you can improve your profitability. And that is where optimization strategies come into play. An optimization strategy could be giving discounts, more or less, sending collection letters right now or later. For now, we have enabled discount as an optimization strategy as part of the private preview. And let's look at a scenario. So suppose I wanted to concentrate on these invoices and customers that are being predicted to pay late and see what could I do? How much discount could I give these guys in the future so that I can get paid on time? Because I am cash-strapped and I need that money. I can go here and start experimenting. What if I gave them a 5% discount? Let's see if that has any effect on it. And I click on the optimization button. Now, this is fantastic. I mean, behind the scene, what we're doing is that we are taking that discount, applying it to that invoice, and then doing all the machine learning for you in real time and telling you what effect the discount would have. And you would see that if you look at the original prediction versus the optimized predictions, there's a little bit of difference. Now, in the original prediction, there was we said that 8% of the invoices, total amount of the invoices will be paid on time. Now we are saying 24% of the total amount will be paid on time. That's not considerable. What if I gave them a little bit more discounts? And before I do that, also notice that we are telling you for each of these invoices how the predictions have changed. Initially, all of these invoices were being predicted to pay beyond the 30 days of due date. Now there's one invoice we are saying will be paid on time. There's an 88% chance of that happening. Now, if I change this to 10% and click on optimization again, you would notice that the amount that is now being predicted to pay on time has increased considerably. And also, you'd notice that for each of these individual invoices, the predictions of getting paid on time has improved considerably. Now, how you can use this? Again, the one way to use this is that give them those additional discounts. If you're so desperate, you really want the money, give them those discounts. Now, you have to do that what-if analysis of, and we'll be adding that here too, is that, am I meeting my margins? How much expense I'm incurring because of taking these discounts. We'll be adding that information here when we do a general public preview for this. And also, again, you can take this as a policy implication. In the future, I might give them an additional discount because it increases my chance of getting paid on time significantly, reduces my collection cost. So these are the kind of decisions you can start taking with these tools that we are building into our finance and operations. So that was the end of what we wanted to show you. Please visit the release notes. What was this one? Yep, release notes. Section to see what all we are shipping in the current releases and the next releases. Please do connect with us. Again, visit the release notes, see the roadmap of what we are shipping and when we are shipping it. If it's on the roadmap, you can guarantee that it's going to ship. If it has a timeline around it. App Source, you can find a lot of ISV and partner products out there for any gaps that we might have in the system. So I encourage you to go ahead and evaluate those. And then Ideas Portal. Please keep the ideas coming. We seriously look at these ideas. In the last year, we have closed 3 top ideas in financials alone. And it is important that you go create ideas or vote on ideas that you think are important for you. That is one of the ways and one of the more important ways that we prioritize our products. And when we go build. So please go vote on those. Also, you can join our Dynamics 365 feedback panel. These are core group of customers we work closely with to get feedback on the new products that we build. It is helpful to us in understanding the customer scenarios. It is helpful to you so that you don't have to do those customizations because we know it and we'll build it because we're getting the feedback from you. And before that, take the evaluations, and then we'll open for questions.
Yep. As I mentioned, if you could go up to the microphone, since we are recording the session, it will help the recording for us to hear the questions when we provide the answer. We are between you and lunch, so we do understand that you don't have any. Shivam and I will stay here a little bit longer today, too, if you have some. Yes?
About revenue recognition, you've talked about item. What about projects?
So,
you want to take that?
I know briefly if you know the answer.
No.
Okay. All right. So there is a bit of revenue recognition already in project. The program manager that's diving deep into that functionality. Is anyone from Armanino here? That might. Okay. I can follow up with you on that. There is some availability that is already there. Unfortunately, I don't have the exact details of what's coming in. So if you want to give me your card, we can follow up with you on that.
Yep, it's all cooking. I'm sorry. I mean, we are such an initial phase of integrating in the
Just
system. We are
coming
evaluating
in.
and
Yeah, so we'll have a lot of that released with our documentation once we get it in the core product and do the evaluation.
Hello. Hi. A bit a similar question about the vendor approval app. Is that only based on the purchase and items, or what's the entity you're looking there actually? Is that, this, what is it called? The pending vendor invoice, for instance, is an entity, or purchase invoices or journal invoices. So what is this app actually based on which entity?
I'll have to go back and look as to which specific entity it's based off. It's based on the mobile framework that we have in the system. I don't know as to which specific entities it uses. If you want to reach out to me later, I'll confirm that.
About the last topic about the prediction of the invoices being paid, I'm a bit surprised about the discount because, well, most companies want their money fast, of course, but they want the full amount. You can give a discount as a commercial gesture, but then it should be in advance. Actually, what I see at many companies is that when there's additional costs for debt collection, that they also have to be paid by the customers. So something that would make more sense to me would be to send them a warning in advance that when they don't pay in time, that additional costs will be added. Something like that would make more sense to me.
And that's great feedback. We are experimenting on adding fees in it. What if I have to do a finance charge or fees for this customer for paying late? What effect does that have? We are evaluating that right now. And from the discount perspective, if you look at as a policy, right? Not currently, don't give the discount right now on those invoices, but in the future, you might want to give them an additional discount because they respond well to it. You could use it by that, but totally take your feedback on the current invoices, absolutely. I understand that.
Thank you.
Two detailed questions. One is about we're very busy with a PSA integration, and I saw something about it. Is there already documentation for that topic?
Yeah, so on the PSA, and there's already a few templates that are available, actuals, projects, project lines, and so on. So there is, I'll check on the exact, if you want to give me your card, I can have our program manager follow up on if there's specific documentation. But yes, a lot of those have been released. We're constantly adding more to it. So there should be something out there on it. If not, we'll get that link.
Right now we're busy with a PSA integration.
Okay, yeah, good.
And the other question is also for that customer, is the automatic ledger settlements. And I looked on the internet, but there was no document.
So that one is still in feature design and customer feedback, but it should be coming in the next, like we say, like 3 to 6 months. But again, there'll be 2 phases for that. One is the UI improvements, and then one will be the actual rules engine to do the automatic posting. So if you want, I can connect you with our program manager working on those designs if you have feedback or specific questions, and they can even kind of cover it with you and get some feedback to make sure it's reaching your scenarios.
Please, that would be.
That'd be great. So if you have a card, or I can give you one of mine, that'd be great. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you one of mine. Yep, just I'll grab it right here at the. Perfect. All right, if there's no other questions, we'll hang around for a few minutes. If not, thanks for being here. Enjoy your lunch.